I am George Molessa. My partner tonight is Dick Cote, and we're happy to bring you Offside 101. We thought the timing of this might be beneficial for the grassroots referees with the season basically upon us. Dick, did you want to mention anything offhand before we really get into this?
Yeah, just administratively, we'd ask you to stay on mute. We are going to ask questions during the presentation. And if you want to answer, please unmute yourself, come on and have a discussion and then go back to mute. That'll make it for a smooth flow and for everybody's benefit. So other than that, let's get going.
Okay. So thanks again for taking the time to be with us tonight.
Slideshow.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
There you go.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Okay, so we're calling this Offside 101, which is a reinforcement of the basic understanding of the requirements of Law 11. We're hoping that this presentation will help everyone improve their decision making as they adjudicate offside situations, gain some confidence in their decision making, and basically improve their overall performance, especially as an AR. In Law 11, there's two primary aspects to be concerned about. The first is the offside position, and the second is an actual offside offense. So we're going to focus on each of those and take you through those different requirements. It's an offside offense if any part of the head, body, or feet is in the opponent's half of the field, near to the opponent's goal line. And the reason why you can see the double asterisk, those are the parts of the body that can legally score a goal. So if a player's hand or arm is in an offside position, that is not considered to be offside. Hands and arms, including the goalkeepers, are not considered. The upper boundary of the arm is in line with the bottom of the armpit. If you go into Law 11, you can see a schematic that shows where the bottom of the armpit is judged. So, oh, I need to get out of this, right?
Yep, just exit or escape. There you go.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
You go back a slide. Yep, there you go.
Okay, so ARs are always running up and down the touch line and tracking with the offside position. Okay, so in this particular case where we see 3 defenders in blue and 3 attackers in red, the AR should be in line with the second to the last defender, who in this case is this D1 defender. So let me ask, and anybody can jump in. Does anybody see an attacker in this schematic who is currently in an offside position?
A1.
Say again.
If the defender is the blue and the defender right now, the second to last defender is D1, then wouldn't an attacker in an offside position be the attacker of A1?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Let's say that the ball goes here into the corner Where should the AR be moving right now? Pretend none of these players are moving. Let's keep it basic. Where should the AR be moving? What is the new offside position? Down here, right? Where the ball is? Okay. Say that, say the keeper has cleared the ball up to the halfway. The defenders have sprinted to the halfway or near it. If I can drag this. So when the defenders are pulling up their defense toward the halfway, this is where the AR has to do what? Turn and run to a new, wherever the new offside position is, right? So in this case, where is this offside position?
Up with D3.
D3. So how many attackers right now are in an offside position?
3.
3. But we don't have an offense yet, do we? So
No.
that's still to be determined. We have to remember that we have 3 attackers in an offside position, but this is where our focus needs to be with this second to the last defender. Okay? Okay. So as a reminder, it's not an offense just to be in an offside position, but you need to be aware of players who are in an offside position. And it is not an offside offense if players receive a ball directly from a goal kick, throw in, or corner kick, okay? An offside offense occurs when a player in an offside position at the moment the ball is played or last touched by a teammate becomes involved in active play. And those are key words highlighted in yellow and underlined in black, okay? Involved in active play. And these are the 3 primary, I'll call them aspects to being involved in active play. These are buzzwords that should be ringing in your head when you're an assistant referee. Interfering with play, interfering with an opponent, or gaining an advantage. That is at a high level. Those are the 3 categories of how to be involved in active play. Dick, you want to take us through some FIFA considerations?
Please.
Okay.
Okay, we put the FIFA considerations up tonight. For those of you that are familiar with them, this will be a review. For those that aren't familiar with them, FIFA has provided these questions as a way for referees to gain football knowledge and to, in fact, improve their game. The questions directly relate to situations in matches, and it will cover a few of them here. Although this laundry list is fairly long, we're not going to cover it. But all of those that are listed, in fact, deal with offside situations and questions that can be asked to help an individual referee or AR understand what offsides is. So, George, can you give me the first one, please? Okay. Is the assistant referee in a good position to judge offsides? Well, we've already mentioned several times in the brief that next to the last position, next to the last meaning, next to the last defender, or the ball, whichever is closer to the goal line, is the position that the AR has to be in. So if the AR is in that position then he's in a good position to judge offside. So, next. Does the player in offside position, I won't read it all for you, interfere with play by playing or touching the ball? Okay, so, as we said, there's a condition that happens from an offside position that in fact will create an offside offense, and that is playing or touching the ball. Next. Does the player in an offside position interfere with the goalkeeper? And if so, how? As you're watching it, as you're aware of where the offside player is, as the play moves towards the goal, or if the goalkeeper starts coming out of his goal, is there interference with the goalkeeper? This is the second factor of interfering with the player. And the third, will the ball go to a player who's previous offside position after a rebound or a save from the opponent? So if the goalkeeper's coming out and he saves the ball or keeps the ball from going into the net, does it go to a player that was in an offside position and therefore create an offside offense? So from here, we're going to show a series of schematics, and then we're going to show some clips. And as you're watching them, we'll do them in the same order that these appeared. Ask yourself those questions or think about those questions as you're watching the clip. So I'm ready to go, George, if you are.
Am I clicking or
Yes,
stop
you're
sharing?
clicking. No, you're clicking.
Okay.
Okay, so
Interfering with play. Go ahead, Dick.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
As Dick mentioned in the FIFA considerations, interfering with play, playing or touching the ball, passed or last touched by a teammate. And
Click.
am I escaping?
No, click, George.
All right, got it.
Okay, so we've got two defenders and another click. We now have three attackers, A1, 2, and 3, A3 with the ball. Have a referee that's correctly positioned. Please don't click yet.
Okay.
And AR1 is in a pretty good position. Anybody want to jump online and say whether there is a player in an offside position? The ball didn't move yet, by the way.
Sorry.
Wouldn't that player be A2?
Very good. Thank you for that. That's exactly right. So now the ball is moved, and please click. Okay. So the progression field, the play has progressed up the field. The referee's moved up to be in a good position at the D. The AR has moved up and is now in line with the defenders where he's supposed to be. A1 has the ball. A2 is in a offside position. Do we have an offside situation?
Not yet.
Thank you. Click. Okay, now A1 has put a pass into space and A2 has run onto it. By looks of this, he's touched the ball before D1 got to it. Do we have an offside situation here?
Yes.
Okay. And what should AR1 be doing?
That flag should go straight up to let the center know that there was an offside situation.
Absolutely correct. What happens after the referee blows the whistle? Where does the flag go?
The flag will either signal far away, in the middle, or near to where the play was.
Sherry, that's absolutely correct. Everybody understand that? Everybody agree? Anybody disagree? Okay. Somebody on an iPhone came on. Did you have a question? Okay, nothing heard. George, if you'll stop sharing, please. Okay, I'm going to run this clip. I'm going to let it run, and then it'll repeat itself. And before it repeats itself, I'll ask a question or two and then I'll let it run again so we can watch this happen. Now, remember, we're talking about interfering with play from an offside position. Okay, so here we go. Okay, that was fairly clear, fairly straightforward, and not a very difficult call for the AR to make. The player that was on the left flank made a run, and he in fact passed that last defender just prior to his teammate who had received a great pass and was in a great position to direct the ball, passed it to him. So let me run it again and we'll watch it as it goes. Okay, and if you saw across the field, the AR had raised the flag. No reason for him to wait. There was nothing else that was going to happen. The offside occurred and the infraction needed to be called and the referee did it. Does anybody have any questions about what transpired in this clip? Okay, I'm seeing somebody that's got an iPhone trying to come online and we're not hearing you. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and George, going back to you.
Okay. I show the iPhone is muted.
Okay. There you go. George, it's to you. Share screen.
I thought I did.
Nope. There you go.
Okay, the second category, interfering with an opponent. Preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing. Challenging the opponent for the ball. Attempting to play the ball, which is close when this action impacts on an opponent. Or making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability of an opponent to play the ball. A lot of this language is taken directly out of Law 11. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, George, let me say something for a minute. I've been watching the chat and there's when we were talking about the last clip, excuse me, somebody raised the when we were talking about whether or not what the AR should do with the flag, the answer in chat was to raise the flag straight up. Somebody mentioned the fact that he thought that was a signal for substitutions. It in fact is not a signal for substitutions. It is the proper signal is to go vertical with the flag at the point in time that the AR has the offside situation, so that the referee clearly can see the flag. After he blows the whistle because he sees the flag, the AR would then bring it to a position to indicate far side of the field, middle of the field, or near side of the field by elevating or lowering the flag appropriately. So I hope that answers the question, Johnny. Go from there. Okay.
And Dick, that raising of the flag, that's all done in the right hand, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have the situation interfering with an opponent. So George, if you'll click for me.
I did. There we
Okay,
go.
we got 3 defenders this time. Click again. And we got 3 attackers, so fairly even deal here. A3's got the ball, referee's in his trusty position moving up, and the AR is again correctly positioned. And I believe that I see A2 offside. Any disagreement? Excuse me, A2 in an offside position. Does anybody disagree? Okay, George, let's get a click. Okay, A3 is clearly passed the ball to A1. Great pass. Do we have an offside situation yet?
No.
Okay. A3 has gone out to the wing. A2 is with the defender. If you'll click for me. Okay. So what's happened is ignore all the little icons that are sitting at the top of the penalty area. A2 has gone from his offside position and continued to go into the goal area and move in front of the goalkeeper. He's also adjacent to D1, et cetera. So as the ball is crossed from A3 on the right flank, we now have a situation where he is interfering with an opponent by being in the offside position. So do we have an offside situation?
Yes.
Okay. And the AR mechanic is the same to raise the flag. In this case, he would bring it down to a horizontal middle position. Okay. Anybody disagree? Anybody see anything different in the schematic? Kind of hard, but the goalkeeper might be better placed by turning a little bit. He's sort of in the wrong, facing the wrong direction. Anyway, let me have the screen for a second, George.
Sure.
Okay, hold on a second. I didn't want that to run my fault. All right. In this clip, we're talking about interfering with an opponent. So as the play develops, there'll be two segments. The clip will run, the event will occur, and then there'll be another run through. I'll stop it first, possibly ask some questions. We'll go from there. So here we go. Okay, this is fairly straightforward as well. Would somebody agree that this player is the one that moves into an offside position?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thanks. That's good. And his teammate has not played the ball yet. So all we have is a player moving into the offside position. The AR, which we can't see, should be parallel, or excuse me, even with this defender right here. And this is dynamic. It's moving fairly quickly. So the AR is moving back and forth to maintain that perspective. Okay, here we go. Okay, so who can tell me what happened? What happened? What did that defender do? Anybody?
They more seem to interfere with an opponent and then also play as well.
Okay. And when the ball was coming in, he moved back and attempted to play the ball, correct? Okay, so thank you, Ari. I appreciate it. So since he moved back and he's up against the defender, he's in fact interfering with the opponent, interfering with play by trying to play that ball. Had he not gone there, would we have an infraction? Meaning had the ball not gone to him and had he not come back into the back of the defender or tried to play the ball, would we have an offside offense?
No, right? Because he didn't interfere with play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the AR's positioning in this case is absolutely critical in order to be able to judge what that offside player, the player in the offside position is going to do. In this case, because he came back into play and he didn't get the ball, the middle defender in yellow is the one that headed it out, but he clearly was impeded or at least aware of a player that shouldn't have been there that caused a problem. So that's interfering with an opponent. So I'm going to stop share and give it back to you, George.
Okay. So that third major category, we had interfering with play, interfering with an opponent, and now the third category, gaining an advantage. So this is playing the ball or interfering with an opponent when it's rebounded or deflected off the goalpost, the crossbar, a match official or the opponent, or has been deliberately saved by any opponent, not necessarily the goalkeeper.
Okay, so here's our third schematic, gaining an advantage. You have three attackers, ball's out on the right flank with A3, click. Defenders reasonably placed to deal with it. Do we have anybody in an offside position at this point in time?
No.
Good call. Absolutely not. ARs could be a little bit further up the line to be a little bit more even with D3. And that's a mechanical issue from me. Okay. Hold on a second, Ari. Let me get your question up. Ari has asked a question. If it was a pass to you and you are offside and the defender touches it, can you go for it? Okay, Ari. We were not going to talk about that specifically in this session. We're more interested in, we're more concerned about just basic offside conditions. To answer your question though, if in fact there's an issue that has to be taken into consideration, and this is going to be covered in the next seminar that we're planning on doing, and it has to do with whether the defender deliberately plays the ball, deliberately touches the ball, and then what happens. And if it's all right with y'all, I'd like to leave that topic until the next presentation, where we'll have different schematics and different videos to demonstrate that. But to answer your question, Ari, it depends. It depends on whether the defender deflects the ball or whether the defender deliberately plays the ball. And if it's all right with you, can I leave it there? Okay. So George, click please. Okay, so A3 has now dribbled the ball to the edge of the penalty area. DT's defender's gone with him. Go ahead and click again, George. Okay, the attackers and defenders have come forward. Now, AR is moved up appropriately to the next to the last defender. Can somebody mention who might be in an offside position?
A1.
A1, absolutely. All right, so A3's got the ball. Clear look at goal. Give me a click, George. Bang, hits the crossbar, goes directly to A1. Okay, do we have an offside?
Offense.
Offense, yes. I said yes. Do we?
In my opinion, and I haven't run into many of these situations, but in my opinion, I would think it would because the goalpost does not count as a player. So I would think the ball is still in play. Therefore, if it bounces back to A1, not touching another player, then it would still be an offside offense.
Siri, that's absolutely correct. The ball was last played by his teammate. Okay. He received it from being in an offside position, and therefore he has to be called for offside.
Dick,
Okay.
if I can clarify something,
Sure.
had the shot from A3 gone to the goalkeeper who made a save and it caromed to A1, would that be a different situation or a similar offense?
If you'll let me share, I'll show you.
Okay. Did you get it?
Hold on. Okay. All right. Can everybody see the screen? Okay. Here's the video. Okay, so the scenario that George presented or asked about, did it occur in this video?
Yes, and I also think it's offsides based on the expression on her face.
That's always a great indicator. If you can watch the face, the panic that sets in when they realize it. So let me run it again so you can see exactly what happens. AR's got it. And you'll notice the video slowed up and stopped just at the point in time when the two British players ran into an offside position. Et cetera. And as the play progressed and the shot went in and the goalkeeper was able to deflect the ball, save it, the player in the offside position clearly kicked it into the goal and then realized what had happened. So any questions about the scenario as far as gaining an advantage by being in an offside position? Okay. I'm going to stop sharing, and George, it's back to you.
Okay. Can everybody see that?
Nope.
No. How about now?
No, sir.
Wow. You can't see that. Hang on.
There you go. Yep. And slideshow.
Yeah, I did. There we go.
There you go.
Now, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. So offenses and sanctions. If an offside offense occurs, the referee awards an indirect free kick where the offense occurred, including if it's in the player's own half of the field of play. Can is anybody confused by this last statement? Or can somebody give me an example of what that means?
Wouldn't it be like the far back defenders move up to the opponent's half of the field, and then some of the forwards are, in front of the second to last defender who's moved into the opponent's half?
Yes, and those attackers in the offside position might come into their defensive half of the field to receive a pass from a teammate. Agree? Let me see if I can show that. A defending player, and I will show that. A defending player who leaves the field of play without the referee's permission is considered to be on the goal line for the purposes of offside. So this first bullet is really intended to be a situation where somebody leaves the field during the run of play. Wet turf, a sliding challenge, something like that.
Right away. The world could use some more heroes, and your call will make a difference.
Hey, Tim, you need to mute your system.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
A defending player who deliberately leaves the field to put an attacking player in an offside position must be cautioned when the ball is next out of play. Okay? So
Take it out of screen, take it out of slideshow. There you go. Hey, George, before you go on, Siri, you've asked a question in chat. Let me bring it up. Siri asked the question to everybody. So when a player is offside, when the ball is played and then goes back into their half to receive the ball, that's the situation that we were describing with being offsides in your own half of the field. That's absolutely correct. Okay. In other words, the defenders beat the attackers up the field as they move the defensive line upfield or high on the pitch, and the attackers being a little bit lazy or not as fast, etc., coming forward, coming up, trying to get back to the ball. The ball is passed forward, and that attacker would go to the ball, having come from an offside position on the other half of the field. So that's a situation, and absolutely good observation, Siri. Thank you.
So let me try to sketch this out just a little bit. Let's just move these players off the pitch for right now. Disregard where the referee is. The assistant referee should be where right now? At the halfway? Yes?
Yeah, but he can't go any further because it'd be the other AR's zone.
Sure. Very good. Okay. So this attacker is passing the ball in his own half. And this attacker, would you all agree that this attacker is currently in an offside position?
Yes.
Okay. This attacker comes back to get the pass. Do we have an offside offense?
Yes, if the attacker was in an offside position when the ball is played.
Yes. Perfect. So the restart for the blue team is going to be an indirect free kick right here in the attacking half for blue. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
It's awkward, but it can happen, okay? Okay.
Yeah, and as George repositions those, that's absolutely critical that the AR is cognizant of where the attackers are, where the defenders are. In this case, as just described, the defenders had come up to the midfield line, and how the ball is being played. He has to be conscious, just as the referee does, but he has to be conscious of whether or not one of those attacking players now comes back into his own half to be able to get the ball.
Okay, so we're talking about a defender leaving the pitch. So right now,
George,
yeah,
you're good. No, you're good. Never mind. You're good.
okay. Let me just reposition this just a little bit. Okay, so right now, our offside position is right here with D1. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. So D1 has an idea that they want to leave the pitch, thinking that they're now going to put A1 in an offside position, because does A1, who is ahead of the ball, does A1 have two defenders between them and the goal? Technically.
Yes,
Well,
right?
by
Because they have the
law,
goalie.
well, the goalie is one. Do we see another defender here? No. Technically, this defender is considered to be on the goal line. So now where is our new offside position?
It's directly on the goal line. Right?
I
Or is
need
it a T2?
With
I
the
need a better
ball,
answer.
our new offside position, if we don't have a second to last defender, wouldn't it be with the ball? Because isn't it?
No, we're looking for two defenders between A1 and the goal.
Oh, it would be in line with the goalie.
Ah, that's where the AR needs to move to. So by D1 leaving the pitch, thinking they're going to put A1 in an offside position, they've just given all this territory to A1 to run around in, okay? And as an AR, you need to recognize that when D1 does that, if they do it, okay? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I can't get to slideshow.
You can't, your cursor's just below it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. Nicely done.
Okay, so does everybody sort of understand that?
Yes.
Okay. It also holds true. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay. We'll let that go. I'll show it on the next slide. An attacking player may step off the field of play to indicate they are not involved in active play. Okay. So they can step off the goal line, they can step off the touch line, and they are telling the referee crew and their teammates, I am not playing right now. An attacking player who deliberately leaves the field of play and re-enters without the referee's permission and is not penalized for offside and gains an advantage must be cautioned.
Wait, so if one of those criteria isn't met, would they not be cautioned?
That's correct. It's both criteria. So I'm in, can I do this? No, I can't do this.
You got to get out of, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we talked about an attacker leaving the pitch, right? Let's say that, go ahead. Anybody?
I think
Yeah.
that's just the reverberation of the class from somebody's system. I think they need to mute.
Yeah, the person that keeps popping up with the problem is the person that's on an iPhone. It's either not muted or he's picking up feedback.
Okay. Right now, A1 is going to leave the pitch. We're going to have a ball come through like this, okay? So the ball comes through toward the goal area there. Is A1 in an offside position?
Yes,
Yes or no?
yes,
Yes. Okay. If A1 goes for the ball, do we have an offside offense?
yes.
Yes, by interfering with play. But A1 is a very smart player, and A1 knows they're in an offside position, and they don't want the AR to make a mistake. So A1 leaves the field. So what is A1 telling the referees?
That he's not in the game. Or
I'm
he's
not
out
in
for
the
now.
game.
Not
I'm taking a break right now. Right. And so with that, where is our new offside position? It was here with D1, but
It's
where's
lined
the
up.
ball now?
That's the ball, because that's the closest to the goal line.
Right.
There you
Siri.
go. Okay. Now, if D1 comes back in here, we have to move again. The ball comes out here. D1 comes out here. AR has to find the next to the last defender, D3. D3 comes upfield. D2 slides right in here. The AR has to slide up with D2. So this is all happening right in front of your eyes. Players moving in either direction, right in front of your eyes, and you have to try to keep track of them. It takes a lot of focus and concentration, okay? It's very easy, especially when the ball is over here someplace, to ball watch. And when we ball watch, this player could move back here, and we might be standing here ball watching because there could be some challenges for the ball right near the halfway, when we should actually be back here. We good?
Yes,
Okay. If an attacking player remains stationary between the goalpost and inside the goal, and the ball enters the goal, a goal must be awarded unless there was an offside offense or a Law 12 offense. So in which case, the restart would be either an indirect free kick for an offside offense or a direct free kick for a Law 12 offense. So in this scenario, can somebody give us an example of what might be an offside offense with this attacking player inside the goal? They
What do you
remain
mean by-
stationary. Go ahead.
What do you mean by inside the goal? Like,
in the goal area.
No, literally inside the net,
oh, well,
like behind the goalkeeper, behind the goal line, in the goal.
yeah, well, it's not an offside offense until he interacts with play or like tackles the goalie or interacts with the goalie in
Try
some.
to interfere by
way.
obscuring the goalie's opportunity, as an example is like dog tail. Oh, well, no, that's not dog tail, but obscuring the goalie's view or just in general interfering with.
What if he's like crouching in the back?
He or she might be crouching in the back. is that an offense in and of itself?
No, not that I know
No. What if,
What-
go ahead.
Yeah, okay, looking at the scenario, if he's standing in the goal, and the goalkeeper is concentrating on the ball, and all of a sudden, he sticks his foot out as the ball's coming in,
of.
or he steps out and steps in front of the goalie.
Yeah, that would be an offense because then he's deliberately trying to interfere with the play with the ball.
Right,
Yep.
as an offside offense, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, can you give me an example? Can somebody give an example of a Law 12 offense? If an attacker was inside the goal, a Law 12 offense that would result in a direct free kick. Any thoughts?
Like a reckless foul on the goalie, possibly.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it like depend what he does?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Give me,
yeah, Johnny.
So,
give
like,
us an
if he-
example.
If he punches the goal in the face, punches the goalie in the face, wouldn't it be like, it would be a red card, and it wouldn't be reckless play, it would be
About
like
violent conduct.
violent conduct, yeah, violent conduct.
There you go.
But if he just like jumped in the way of the goalie, or I don't know,
What if he tripped him or pulled on his jersey?
wouldn't that be wouldn't it be like rough play or something like that?
It
It would definitely
That
it would
would
definitely be
be,
a yellow card.
no, we don't want to get into yellow and red necessarily. We just want to get into a Law 12 offense that would result in a direct free kick. So,
Let me make a suggestion, and you
Sure.
can see if you agree with this. If he's standing in the goal and the ball's about to be shot, or the ball's shot and the ball's coming in, what if he yells to get the goalie's attention?
Yeah, because that's interfering with the goalie. That's interfering with your opponent.
Absolutely. Okay, but it's not an offside offense because he's not in an offside position. Okay, so that would be an example of a Law 12 offense that you would have to call. And it would either be an indirect kick coming out or direct free kick, depending on what how it unfolded. Excuse me. If he interfered with the goalie in that situation, it's better be a direct free kick for the defending team coming out. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Chuck Watts brings up good points. A push, hold, trip, example of Law 12 instance, plus thanks, Chuck, for the kudo. Okay.
okay, so that's pretty much the presentation for this evening. And why?
Just advance it. There you go.
There we go. So the idea here was to help. Most of you, almost all of you, are grassroots referees, teenagers with varying degrees of experience, knowledge, understanding, and we're hoping that this has helped clarify for you a little bit some of the basics of Law 11, so that when you are out there as an AR, you can improve your decision making with this better understanding, gain some confidence in making more correct calls, and overall improving your performance. Being an assistant referee is not an easy task by any stretch, and the offside call is one of the most controversial in the game, as we all know. So at the end of the day, we have to give it our best shot to stay focused on that offside position, and remember the differences between offside position and an offside offense when we're making our decisions. Dick, you want to add anything?
No, when we talk about understanding, though, Chuck Watt brought it up, and I concur with it. The term that you want to start thinking about with soccer is football understanding. That's the muscle memory that you're trying to develop. And if you think back and you think of the clips that we watched, if you go back to the considerations, in all of those cases that we brought up and talked about in the offside arena, they were all germane. They all were supposed to reinforce football understanding in offsides and how to deal with it. And we hope that we were able to accomplish that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's our email addresses. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, feedback, please don't hesitate to let us know. Any thoughts on the presentation itself, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you would have liked differently. And keep in mind, this is our first shot out of the box in the state referee program's continuing education series. So there's going to be additional opportunities down the road to jump in with other aspects of the laws of the game. So with that, Dick, are you good?
Yeah, let me brought something else up. If you're not looking at chat, very interesting comment from Chuck Watt, and that is that U.S. Soccer is going to drop the term grassroots from referee designation, probably effective in July. That is to me a monumental change and greatly appreciated. So
Does anybody? I was getting used to using the term.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the other thing, folks, is your use of chat tonight was greatly appreciated, and I hope that those that ask questions got satisfactory answers as we're going forward. So again, thanks for being here. Well done. And I'd like to ask the SRP members to stay on this call.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time this evening, everybody. And hope you have a great season. Okay.
Thank you, bye.
Thanks, Sari.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yep.